in Python, you'll notice that after we have a function, after we've called it, for example, we've got these parentheses, and at the moment there's nothing in there, it's empty. And that's because I'm not passing any arguments in, so I'm not trying to input any variables in there, I'm not trying to give the function any extra data. But you'll notice that, for example, in print, we have got these arguments being passed in here, and the same for input. We've got this argument here being passed in. So if I wanted to, for example, in my greeting function, I wanted them to be able to pass in the name function, and then I'm going to take this line out here. So I just want to print hello to their name. And then just underneath, this is where I'm going to ask the user for their name just here. So I'm going to ask them for their name, and it's going to be an input, what is your name? And then when I call the function, I need to input this name variable into the function. Now this is getting a bit confusing because I've used name a couple of times, so I'm just going to change this to username, and again I'm going to write in here username. So it's going to assign whatever the user inputs here into this variable here, the username, and then when I call the function, Python doesn't need these to be the same names. It will take whatever's the first argument when you call it as being the first argument here, this parameter for the function. So now when I run this code, let's have a check to see if everything's correct. So it's asking me for my name, and it's working. So that's great, that works. So I've tested it and it works. So we can pass arguments into functions, but we can also return values from the functions as well. So say I've got here, instead of printing hello name, I want to return out of this maybe a string of this sentence here. So I'm going to change this into a variable called greet user, and I'm going to take these parentheses out. I'm going to change this comma to an add, because I'm actually going to concatenate. I'm going to join this hello and the person's name there. If I'm doing that, I do just need to add a space in there. I'm still going to ask the user for their name here, and I need to, instead of doing greeting, well, let's run this and just check where we're up to actually. Okay, so it's asking me for my name, so this line of code here is working. So I'm going to say Pete, but then nothing happens, it stops because I've not returned, it's just inputted this into the name function, but nothing has returned out to me. So I need to return, using the return keyword, this this variable here, greet user. And then I'm gonna just test it out by just saying print greet user. So let's see how that works. So what is your name? Pete. I get a name error. Greet user is not defined because greet user is a local variable within this function here, not a global one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another variable here called returned greeting, and it's going to be equals to whatever is the value from there, and instead of printing greet user, I'm going to print here the returned greeting from this function. Let's have a look and see if that works. Yes, so now that's great, it works. Okay, so let me just explain that again. It's going to skip over this. This is the definition of this function. So I'm going to come down here to line 7. So the username variable is going to be assigned to whatever is this input here. Then the returned greeting value is going to be assigned to whatever the greeting function returns back from this username variable that I've got here. So it's going to put the username variable into the greeting as name now, and then I've got this greet user variable that's going to join and concatenate this hello plus the name. So the name is going to be whatever the username is, and then it's going to return this value here, the greet user value. It's going to come out. So then I can print that, or I could do anything else with it. I could use it in lots of different ways.